Now, let's have the third type of probability, which is conditional probability. Okay? Conditional probability is the probability that a second event will occur if the first event already happened. So in this case, again, we have two events. Alright? So two events. There will be event A, event B, or whatever notation or whatever letter you assign to your given. Okay? So ang basa dito ay what is the probability of event A given that B has occurred is equal to the probability of A intersection of B over the probability of B. Which is equal to, di ba, kapag meron tayong P, A intersection of B, this is also equal to this. No? As well, for P of B, we have this. It's the same. Okay, provided that the probability of B is not equal to 0 or else we will have a math error. No? Kasi kung 0 ito, hindi tayo makakapag-proceed. No? So, looking at this, these two will cancel out or will divide at may iwan na lang itong ating general formula for conditional probability. Okay, example tayo, no? So, sa example natin, a die is rolled. If the result is an even number, what is the probability that it is a perfect square? So, there are actually two events that we are looking at. The first one is when you roll the die, it's an even number. And then you are asking the probability of the second event, what if it is a perfect square? Okay? So, ang ating general formula, if this is event A, the first one is an even number, and this one is event B, ang ating notation will actually be P, what is the probability that it is a perfect square given that it is an even number? So this time, baliktad yung notation natin. Unlike dun sa ating previous slide, no, nakalagay ganito. Okay, so ang N natin, A intersection B over N intersection of B. So this time, it will be N A intersection B pa rin over N of A. Kung ano yung nandito sa baba, siya ang denominator mo. Kasi correct naman yung notation natin, di ba? Hinahanap natin yung probability that it is a perfect square given that the result is an even number. Now, it's just a notation, matter of notation. You can actually give this as B and this is A, but it doesn't make sense kasi nauuna yung A natin sa B. Okay? So, it's just a notation. I hope you follow. So, this one, okay, from our die, rolling a die, ang N A intersection of B ay yung number na even number na at the same time perfect square pa. So, in that case, that is the number 4. Meaning, isa lang ang ating outcome. And then, dito sa baba is N of A. The event of an even number. Ang event ng even number natin, no? From our sample space of rolling a die, remember, ang mga even number, no? Ay 2, 4, and 6. So, meaning we have 3. So, the answer will be 1/3. So, the probability that you get the perfect square, now, if the result is an even number, is actually 1/3. So, the tip in our conditional probability problems is that meron ng naunang event at hinahanap mo yung pangalawang event. Kung titignan natin yung example number 2, a card is drawn from a deck of 52 playing cards. Given that the card drawn is a face card, ibig sabihin, lumitaw na dun sa card natin na kinuha ay face card siya. Okay? Then, what is the probability of getting a king? So, meron tayong kinukuhang second probability given nangyari na yung nauna. Okay? So, this is our first event. Let's call that event A. And this one is the second. This one is another second and another second. Kasi magkakaibang number yan. No? Hindi tatlong events to magkakasunod. Okay? Partner-partner sila. So, for our face cards, okay? Tignan muna natin yung face cards natin. Sa face cards, meron tayong King, Queen, and Jack. So, dahil 4 na suits yun, mumultiply natin siya ng 4. So, magiging 12. 3 ito eh. Okay? Kasi ang formula natin dito ay, what is the probability that we will get a king given that our card is a face card? So, following the general formula, we get this. We divide it by n of a, kung ano yung nandun sa ilalim. Okay? So, ito ay n intersection of b. Ibig sabihin, face card na siya at the same time, king pa siya. Okay? So, ilan yon? Face card na siya at the same time, king na siya. So, meron tayong 4. Okay? 4 combination 1 yan actually, no? Kasi isang card yung dinadraw natin. Kahit sino ang mahanap mo. King of spades, king of hearts, king of clubs, king of diamonds. You are actually choosing one for them. One of them. Okay? So, ito, ang n of a natin is the probability of having a face card. So, based doon, meron tayong 12, which is 12 combination 1. Meron lang mga shortcuts to kasi this one is actually 4 and this one is actually 12. So, yung iba, tinutuloy na nila kung isang card ang pinag-uusapan. Eh, syempre, kung dalawang card yan, gagawin mong dalawa yon, no? Pero dahil isang card lang, tinutuloy na yon sa fraction. Okay? Now, moving on, for this one, the probability that it is a spade, given that it is a face card, dito naman ay n intersection C over n intersection of A again. Okay? So, dito laging 12. Na? Ngayon, ano ang ilan sa deck natin ang spade na ay face card pa? Okay? Ilan ang spade na face card? O, dun sa spades natin, meron tayong king of spades, queen of spades, and jack of spades. Ibig sabihin, 3. So, this one is 3. I told you before, no, bakit na-omit na yung combination 1? Because it's the same. So, this one is 1/4. Okay, or this one is 1/3. Okay, the next one ay the probability that it is a red card given that it is a face card. Palaging ito ang first event natin. Okay, kapag conditional probability. Now, this one will be n a intersection of C over n of A ulit. So, alam natin na this one is 12. Face cards to eh. Ngayon, ang tanong, ilan ang face card na red card? Ilan ang face card na red card? Ang face card, meron tayong king of hearts, queen of hearts, and jack of hearts. We also have, since it's also a red, king of diamonds, queen of diamonds, and jack of diamonds. So, lahat yon ay 6. So, 6 over 12. So, meron kang 1/2 na probability. May sabihin, 50% chances of red card siya kapag face card yung nabunot mo. Okay? Kaya yung mga magagaling sa baraha, they will know the outcome kung ano yung susunod na mga baraha because of probabilities. Example number 3 is an example wherein the given are in decimal points. Okay? In a study conducted by a gasoline station, the probability that an automobile being filled with gasoline will also need an oil change is 0.30. The probability that it needs new oil filter is 0.4, and the probability that both oil and filter need changing is 0.15. What is the probability that a new oil filter is needed if the oil had to be changed? Okay? So, kumbaga, meron tayong conditional probability dito kasi tinatanong niya yung probability ng second event if nangyari or kailangan ng oil ng changing din. Okay? So, para hindi tayo malito, let us have notation. Let's let A be the need for oil change. Okay? And B is the probability that we need a new filter, a new oil filter. Okay? So, the probability of A, ayan siya, the probability being filled that will also need an oil change is 0.30. Given yan. Ang probability of B na need ng new oil filter is 0.40. Okay? And the probability that it both needs oil and filter changing is actually PA intersection of B. So that is 0.15. Okay? So, ang tinitignan natin dito, no, is ito yung probability ng oil filter and this is the probability ng oil change, meaning ano ang probability na kailangan natin ng oil change or ng new oil filter given kailangan natin ng oil change. Ayan, no? So, dito pa lang makikita natin based on the formula that we have, yung hindi pa na-derive na formula, this is also equal to this. Ayan. So that, ang P of A of intersection of B natin ay 0.15, i-divide natin ngayon ng 0.30. Okay? So, ang P of B of given A natin will be yung makukuha ninyong division dyan. So, example number 4, this is the same problem as that of number 3, but the question is different. Let us write again our given. So, if we let A as the probability that we need an oil change, and B will be the probability that a new oil filter is needed. Okay? So, sa given, ang probability na kailangan natin ng oil change ay 0.30 at ang probability na kailangan natin ng new oil filter ay 0.4 and the probability that we need both is 0.15. Okay? So, ang tinatanong sa atin ay ano ang probability ng oil that the oil had to be changed if we need if a new filter is needed, sabi niya. So, dito, kailangan natin ng oil change if kailangan din natin ng new oil filter, given that the new oil filter is needed. Yun ang ibig niya sabihin doon, no? Sa notation. So, this one, since we cannot use yung N A intersection of B, you're probably wondering, no? This one is also equal to this. You're probably wondering bakit hindi ito yung ginamit natin, just like yung example number 2. Because we do not have the ability to count or use combination for this example. But rather, we have the probabilities that are given. So this one is also equal to this. Remember, ang ating P, kung B ang nandito sa ilalim, B rin yung nasa denominator. Okay? So, this one is 0.15 divided by 0.40. So, this will be your answer. The fourth type of rule in probability is the multiplicative rule. If events A and B can both occur, then we have a probability of A intersection B is equal to this one. Please correct this one. This is the probability of A given that B has occurred. Okay, this one times the probability of B. If you notice this was derived from our previous type, which is conditional. If you transpose this, magiging ganito siya. P of A intersection of B over P of B. Diba? So, minultiply yon, naging ganito yung kanyang form. Since ang ating A intersection of B is also commutative, no? B intersection of A, then we can change the fact that the probability of A intersection B is also the same when we put this in notation para mapakita natin bakit same yung nangyari dun sa ating mga previous examples. Okay? So, the only thing that we have for multiplicative rule is to multiply yung, or cross-multiply this one and this one. Kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng mga ganyan formula. So, you notice, when we multiply A given B, multiply mo siya ng probability of B. Dito naman, kung probability of B given A, okay, multiply mo siya ng probability of A. Ganun lang yun, ano? So, ang multiplicative rule of probability is applicable for independent events. Okay? Pag sinabi natin independent events, okay, the second event is not affected by the first one. Example nun is yung tossing a coin twice. Kasi pag iyong tinos yung coin ng second time, hindi napapalitan yung probability na either magkaroon ka ng head or tail sa susunod na toss. Yung second event, hindi siya affected nung naunang pag-toss natin ng coin. Okay? So, dito sa ating notation, pag independent events, all you have to do is multiply yung dalawa, no? So, pag ganito ang ating kinukuha, you just multiply it. Pag independent events, you should be able to identify if the events are conditional, non-mutually exclusive, mutually exclusive, complementary, and independent events. So, that is a case-to-case basis, depende sa problem. Ngayon, ito yung example natin ng multiplicative rule. Okay? So, let us read the problem. A box contains 3 red and 8 black balls. If 2 balls are drawn in succession without replacement, what is the probability that they are both red? And the first ball is red and the second is black. Okay? Let us use the box method na ginawa natin dun sa counting techniques natin. So, all in all, meron tayong 11 balls which consist of 3 red and 8 black balls. Okay? Pag sinabi natin, if 2 balls are drawn in succession without replacement, ibig sabihin, dalawa yung kinuha nating bola, nauna yung isang bola. Kumuha tayo ng isa doon sa box natin, okay? At yung una ay red on the first at red on the second. dalawa yung ating event. Okay? Dalawa yung ating event. So, ibig sabihin, nung 11 pa yung bola natin, kumuha tayo ng isang red. I-red yung nakuha natin. Okay? Ibig sabihin dito ay 0. Ngayon, nung nag-draw tayo ulit ng second, hindi natin sinole yung naunang red na nakuha natin. Meaning, nabawasan yung nandun sa ating box. 10 na lang siya. So, meaning dito ay meron na lang tayong dalawang red. Okay? At malo pa rin yung black balls, kumukuha tayo ulit dito. Ganon yung scenario ng ating box. Now, if you are going to look at the probability, you just have to multiply itong first event and the second event. So, magiging 3 combination 1 times 8 combination 0 divide by 11 combination 1 times, okay, ng 2 combination 1 times 8 combination 0, 10 na lang yung susunod. Ayan yung iyong magiging scenario. Ngayon, meron yung iba, sinu-shortcut kasi this one is equal to 1 eh. Ibig sabihin, kumuha ako ng tatlong red na doon sa, kumuha ako ng isang red, okay? Tatlo yung red, 11 yung total, mumultiply ko siya, nung kukuha ko ulit ng second ball, red ulit siya, dalawa na lang ngayon at 10 na lang yung laman. You can definitely use this if this is easier for you. The second one, the first ball is red. So, red on the first. Okay? And black on the second. Yan. So, kung black ito ha. So, kung kayo'y komportable sa pag-drawing, go on. Walang nagbabawal sa inyo, no? So, 11 balls ulit. Okay? Red. Tatlo yung red nung una. 8 yung black. So, isa yung ginawa nating red on the first. Then, the second scenario, we only have 10 balls. Dalawa na lang yung red. Okay? Tapos, ay kukuha tayo sa black balls ng isa. Okay? So, ibig sabihin 0 dito, 0 doon. So, the probability is, therefore, 3 combination 1 times 8 combination 0 divided by 11 combination 1 times 2 combination 0 times 8 combination 1, 8 combination 1 divided by 10 combination 1. Yan yung sagot natin. Okay? This one is equal to 1. Kung titignan natin yung shortcut, kumuha ka sa red, nauna, 11 pa sila, tatlo yung red, minultiply mo, dun sa second, kumuha ka, pero 10 na lang yung nandun sa total. Ganon yung kanyang shortcut. For example, number 2, if a die is thrown twice, what is the probability of getting both 6? Okay. Yung scenario na ito, okay, is different from throwing a pair of dice. Okay? Kasi yung a pair of dice, sabay. Yung dice na ibabato natin. Pero ito ay magkaibang senaryo, magkasunod, no? So, tinapon natin yung die nauna, and then pinulot mo siya, and then tinapon mo siya ulit. This is different, not the same. Okay? So, kung ang unang event natin ay throwing ng dice, syempre ang probability natin doon, yung outcomes natin ay eto pa din. Okay? Doon sa second event natin, since this is an independent event, pag tinrow mo ulit yung die, meron ka ulit chances na ganito. Hindi naman nababawasan yung phases ng die natin kapag binato mo siya ulit. Okay? Ayan siya. So, 6 yung ating makukuha. No? So, ano daw ang probability that you get a 6? Okay? Actually, this is the n of S of A, n of S of B. No? 6 yan. Ngayon, kung ikaw ay makakakuha ng event A, getting both a 6, makakakuha ka ng 6. Ibig sabihin, yung n of A natin ay actually 6, which is 1. Dito sa B, isa ulit ang iyong chances na makakuha ng 6. So, meaning, ang probability natin dito is actually n of A over n of S ng A times n of B over n of S ng B, which is 1/6 times 1/6. Meron ka ngayong 1 over 36. Now, the last example, let's read the problem. A petroleum company exploring for oil has decided to drill 2 wells, one after the other. The probability of striking oil in the first well is 25%. Given that they strike oil in the first attempt, probability of striking oil in the second attempt is 0.85. What is the probability of striking oil in both wells? Okay? So, kung mapapansin natin, it is very easy for us to understand the problem kapag sinulat mo yung given. No? So, let's have event A as striking oil in the first well. Yung dinig nilang well, no? Yung second is striking oil in the second well. Ayan. Ang probability na nakastrike tayo ng oil sa first well is 0.25. Mukha lang mahirap yung mga problem, but if you write down, you will get an idea anong gagawin mo, no? Given that, sabi niya, given that they strike oil in the first attempt, no? Naka-ano tayo? The probability of striking oil in the second attempt is 0.85. Sabi niya, kung ino-notation natin yon, given that, sabi niya, no, they strike oil in the first attempt, the probability of striking oil in the second attempt is 0.85. Sa notation, ang itsura niya ay ganyan, 0.85. Diba? The probability na nakastrike tayo ng oil sa second attempt, given that we strike oil on the first attempt, no, ay 0.85. Okay? Now, ang tinatanong ay the probability of striking oil in both wells. So, kung titignan natin yon, ito ay A intersection of B, both it. So, based on our formula, all we have to do is multiply. Since this is the denominator dito, multiply mo lang siya ng P of A. Okay? Yung isa nating formula, ganito siya. Kung ito naman ang iyong notation, depende sa statement, no? Mumultiply mo siya sa P of B. Remember, sumusunod yung denominator natin. So, we just have to multiply 0.85 times 0.25. Okay? Ayan, para hindi nakakalito. Okay, so this is your final answer. That is the end of our discussion in the multiple types of probabilities. I know the problems can be confusing, But the key for solving successfully probability problems is for you to solve a lot of problems from different books. Okay, thank you.